Greetings. There's some things taking place in the world that we need to discuss, and I wanted to take more time away from the internet before coming back to you. My voice is a little hoarse. However, I feel that I need to output out some of my Zen consciousness as we approach this September time period, as we approach potentially war, as I see news that there was the Aurora Borealis seen in over 30 states, and I was psychically tapping into Hitler looking at the Aurora Borealis before he attacked Poland. And so I've been discussing with local places where there's books, introducing myself to people locally, telling them that I have not one, but 2 books about the sun, multiple YouTube channels, not looking for a quick lay, now coming to God, now confronting my sins, now confronting my lust, now no longer even looking at certain content, even regular content that just sexualizes the woman. I believe now that we have to get right with God and find godly people. But we have to avoid unconscious, lustful game playing in order to find our family. I am on a mission to find my family. It isn't necessarily manifesting from the screen, but I'm trying to manifest it locally. And this is spirituality. This is understanding the solar flares. This is being powered after the total solar eclipse and not being possessed by demons. Folks, we need to talk. Folks, people are acting like I'm projecting, talking about pedophilia and what's going on with men. And there's stories erupting locally of women being stalked right now. And I'm going to be writing in a local blog about awareness, not panicking people. I'll be talking about my future forecasts. I'll be promoting yoga, okay? There's a yoga teacher that recently reached out to me from Florida. I'm going to watch some of her videos at some point, but I already intuitively feel that I know yoga, qigong, tai chi, even though I learned from YouTube, and I've learned some things from an old friend back in Portland regarding striking. Where I'm at now with my energy. This is a tiger's eye bracelet. I recently lost a tiger's eye sphere. This is a tarot's bracelet. This is a Jesus bracelet on my right hand. Yeah. So going to the gym, going to the sauna, being very focused, and then talking with a black man in the water about, and I asked him point blank, is this the worst place on the earth to find a godly woman? And he agreed. And we'll see, he said yes. And we talked. Please excuse the voice, but we need to talk. But it may not be for an hour. Yeah, I got confirmation on a lot. And it's not just the cell phone screen, it's the TV screen. And so what I feel, since I'm trying not to commit adultery in my mind, and I'm going to use clean language, is I see the type of hell I feel they're bringing us and the children. And I feel like God is commanding me to speak right now and not take a few days off, just say a few things. I need to talk to you. We need to pray for the young women that were born on the earth. Even if we have anger towards women, we need to understand that we're spirit. And there's this male-female war that's been going on for a while. You just need to hear something from me. A lot of women that are right now coming of age that are pretty, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. They're in danger, as the Motley Crue song says, because of the type of world the Antichrist that is always bringing them. Now, I don't know how deep I want to go now, but I'm seeing hell on earth that's coming. And I'm seeing horrible things that are happening to people now. Humans being treated like animals, like dogs. There is this, there's the dark aspects of YouTube, all right? And I don't want to go down too far that road. We talked in the past, in past videos. There's a lot of this, the satanic version of this, the satanic version of that, like a satanic side of things that I'm seeing on YouTube. Do you know what I'm getting at? There's like this dark side to YouTube that's promoting darkness, killing, murder, even in innocent videos, like Wasp Mean Man on YouTube, right? You think you're just going to listen to Mean Man from Wasp in the 80s. And it's glamorizing murdering couples on the road, biker style. Now, I need to take a deep breath. This video has to be made. We need to speak the truth that's coming to me as I do the diva spinning back and forth as I spin, and I refuse to be afraid of being brilliant. Okay? I think my eyes are changing now. I think my consciousness is changing now that I'm refusing and trying to shut down my primal instincts to create family. And I'm going to tell you right now, I made no children until the grid goes down or those porno websites go down. I would never want a child, a daughter. to grow up in a world where those things are happening. I told one person once, watch Uncle Buck. It's not a pervert movie. He's trying to reach that young lady before she lets that man molest her. And so my message has been, this is a deep understanding of the sun, and it's not bashing men. We men go through a root chakra explosion when the sun wakes up. And so if you were to look at porn stats from the last 24 hours, it would be off the charts on Satan's websites. You can't be at your best. All right? And fuck around with that stuff. So I'm going to go from one story. I have so many stories I'm going to tell you, but I need to start writing. Yesterday at Sprouts, a place where I megaphone a few times, so they know my face, but now I go in there, I'm humble, be quiet, grab my steak when it's on sale, grab some sirloin steak, I think, last night, folks, for about $3.87. So I need you to listen to my story without judging me and understand the path that I'm on to the best of my ability to not commit adultery in my mind, and why I'm doing that, because I believe I have to walk a holy path. And I believe that temptation is looking at me everywhere, is screaming at me everywhere. And I watch videos from men about spiritual attacks when you walk this path. I don't need a priest, but I went to that church, and I'm telling you, they weren't nice to me. I did tell them that I'm one of the 144,000. I know some may look down upon that, but you should want to believe that you are one of the spiritual elite by doing the proper work and exposing things that need to be done. It's a superhero feat. We're in training for something akin to angelic form. Some. Okay? So don't fear death, but don't rush into it. Don't pray for it, but it will come when it's time. We will not be here forever. What happened was I'm not spending time on the internet yesterday, and probably for good reason. We were hit with heavy solar storms and still are. Heavy. And the machines went down. All right? Is this mic on? And yeah, it took about 10 minutes to check out. The air code was 225, and she apologized. Now, I was calm this time. I wasn't, marching back and forth. I was doing the Kujikiri, then looking at their lava bracelets. Have you noticed everyone's gone bracelet massage? What do you think that is? I'm jumping off topic. The solar cycle is getting the mojo going. Get your mojo rising. By the way, have you seen Meg Ryan and When Harry Met Sally? Yes, yes, yes. I was just joking there on 2025 Countdown, what women experience and go through when the solar cycle rises, men too. That's why there's that rapey thing going on. And all the young women that were born super beautiful, let me tell you, they may not have been blessed by God to have been put in this world. Yes, they need our help and protection, but they're also born, many of them, with a DNA and consciousness that doesn't want us protecting them. And I'm very troubled psychically knowing there's many women that are not admitting to looking at adult content, thinking that they can avoid fornication, being turned off by men. They brainwash these kids in the school system locally and abroad to masturbate at a young age and watch porno. That's what I intuitively am picking up on, silently. I went to church, and I'm telling you, they weren't hip to me being confident and maybe me being Arabic, but they're afraid of a terror attack. And there's stories of terror attacks. So me looking a certain way, I have history of emailing them, though, and offering to be a part of their core. They call it a core. They never got back to me. So I did offer. But when you have your own content in YouTube and you send it to them, it can, in their eyes, disqualify you because they won't see you as someone that's a follower. All right, here's that story. Now, while I basically said, this is a test from God. This is God. This is a message from God, without knowing about the solar storms, to those black staff at Sprouts. And they didn't argue with me, but it was kind of shocking. And I didn't know there was a solar storm, but I was feeling it. And the intensity to be sexual or to seek a sex partner is very strong now, and I'm denying it. There's been a number of contacts between females and me, at least 4, in which there's been opportunities to flirt and get flesh, and I'm denying it. I only really sought a friendship with one person who I won't talk about anymore. But you heard me talk about setting my eyes on a human being and going, I like that glow. She doesn't look like an expletive. She looks modest. She got my attention. And all I can do now is just pray to God that I have hers and leave it at that. and to confront my sins. It's not think about people in a certain way. It's not even stalk them in my mind, but we are humans, and we, the people that are evolving, we're looking around for people knowing that it's a dark world and we want to protect someone. I see right now many men led into situations where women hurt them, maybe even rape them, but really situations in which men are punished by Shaitan, and they're led in situations where their woman is taken. I'm not trying to scare you or frighten you, but I see the hell that this earth is becoming for evil people and evil couples and evil marriages that are sinning against themselves, against God, against their children. There are so many people hiding molestation in this society. Ever since pornography was created, women have been molested, and there's been so many men that had their, don't you try to shut me up, and don't you ever try to shame me. Many men in our society got away with basically murder and raping women in the 70s. They had a lot of sexual freedom, the men that came before us. And now we, the men, are picking up their garbage, man. And these children are being born beautiful, but they don't have the good parents that prep them for spirituality. And so, let me say this calmly. I'm not happy with the parents of the world that are letting their preteens walk around like meat objects. I'm not happy with the people in this world. They're denying that there's this mind control. I can go into a Christian place of business, supposedly, but it's really a corporation that's trying to rip off Christians. And I go, let's see, now that I'm really looking to confront all these sins and ungodliness and confront these fake-ass Christians. That's what I meant by scum. People that treat me like I'm like a T or something. Terrorist or sometimes. I have been living my whole life in fear of them. I have deep trauma of fear of them because I know the truth about 9/11. I know the truth about the left in America. I know the truth about left-wing Nazism or white supremacy or white women supremacy. I learned it from my mother. I know the truth about our world, that women have been turned against godly men. And so godly men have to have discipline. When you're at the grocery store, many women are putting a love spell on us. Today, and you need to be aware of who's around you. It's not perversion, and to be able to rate, identify age, race, threat, or dangerous sexual temptation. You need to understand that I'm not against you, man. If you're still watching that stuff, if you're still fornicating with strange women night after night, I'm not trying to judge you. I'm trying to wake you up and say, you were wrong to think you're better than me all these years. Just because you were getting some. Maybe that's the problem. You see, because God's showing me something, and I'm going to speak, and I'm going to let this flow, and I'm not going to take time to calm down and write. No, it's going to happen now. Many godly men were blessed to be rejected. I've been blessed for 7 years to be rejected. I've been blessed to get on a dating app to look for sex 6 months ago and to find that it didn't work for me. I was blessed that I got ripped off by a dating app company. I was blessed to get my money back. It was God, man. It's God. Sometimes it's Shaitan, sometimes it's God allowing Shaitan or the devil or Satan. Now, I'm not an Orthodox Muslim, but it's a guy called Sufi Realities who talks about the jinn, who sounds like me talking about the archons. And he makes sense out of the women turning on us. He makes sense out of the pain in the bedrooms. The reality is many couples right now in the world are under spiritual attack. When I went to grab the meat at Sprouts, I identified her to be 11 to 12, looking at me and then throwing a front kick, which I thought was odd. Why would she throw? She doesn't have my YouTube channel, or does she? Would that be a psychic kid? And am I wrong to blame her for looking at me, and then being angry that I'm not looking back at her? Who the hell is she to do that? What's wrong with her mom? I glanced at her mom's whatever. Because I'm thinking to myself, now that I'm seeing temptation everywhere, and I'm seeing what men are being tempted into, and men losing control of themselves and stalking girls. What's going on? It's lust. And sometimes the lust spirit explodes from the sun into us. And our inner Shaitan or devil erupts, man or woman, regardless of your race, with these crazy thoughts and animalism. It can be spiritual. You can't take that explosion in your root chakra and work out today. With me, you're invited if you're local, or we're at home. I'm feeling called to teach yoga and learn yoga, intuitive yoga, Tai Chi, and Qigong on video locally. And to make good Latina friends and have my own extended familia in 1 year's time. They're earning their respect. Yesterday at Hobby Lobby, one woman looked at me and beamed into me and my friend. And I wondered if that was her, the manager from that place of books. If it wasn't her, it could have been her doppelganger. But she looked at me with a knowing and an appreciation and a recognition. And so I'm trying to get closer to my friend. She held me the other night. And she will tonight, because this is a crazy place. And it's not about sex. You need somebody. Everybody needs somebody. And that's why I had to leave a world of isolation. That's why I had to leave my land. And I'm upset every day that it happened, that I left, and I'm here. But our world, folks, is going to be destroyed, and I'm just speaking from a spiritual place. I know where I'm from is ungodly, Portland, Oregon. And I know those people are just no good. I sent a man a card today from Hobby Lobby, a Christian card, and said, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. I'm sorry for the gossip. I'm sorry for the angry talk, but I'm praying for you. I appreciate my tears. I don't care what you think. I don't need your love. I don't need your hate. But like, we're alive right now with emotion, and our world is about to go to war. Okay? This was foreseen by me for a very long time, and I've suffered. But again, it's suffering from loneliness from women only made me stronger and kept me out of sin. And if I became so disgusted with what I saw in pornography that I secretly recorded many podcasts exposing Shaitan, Satan's web, and haven't yet told you yet what's there. But let me just go over it again. Just hit the back button if you don't. Men can be traumatized by watching porn, seeing men do mean things to women and women liking those bad men. Men can be traumatized knowing women secretly watch porn from articles that come out, knowing that it's vicious and that when they're a good man and they try to take someone to the park, that they're being ignored. It doesn't mean that all women look at that stuff. It means that we men now that are godly know in reality that they're secrets. That people now are so afraid of men or certain men that they rather look at a demonic website. And so we're going to say this with clean language for people that judge me. These algorithms promote perverted things that I will not describe to you. And so even being on a website, little girl 8, 9, 10, little boy 8, 9, 10, or a male adult, you click other or you click recommended, and it will promote to you horrifying things. And so don't shoot God's messenger or the messenger, please. I want you women to understand that I'm sacrificing a pleasurable life in hell to get to paradise. I'm not an Orthodox Muslim, but this discussion about paradise and heaven speaks to my soul. This whole thing about the woman covering up and not shaking that ass is speaking to my soul at this time. I have your ire, and I don't care. And yet the women that wear the hijabs won't trust me at the market. But one day they're going to. I'll speak in their tongue if I have to. I'll make wild claims to get their attention. Mahdi, Mahdi, Mahdi. But do I read their book, the Quran? No. Do I own a Quran? No. But do I occasionally glance at Sufi realities on YouTube? Yes. And does the content that he speaks speak to my soul and wake me up at a level that my dad and mom did not? Yes. He teaches me morality. He teaches me that I was right about the archons controlling men through lust. And psychically, when you speak that way, women that are young that don't know about these things, that are told to look beautiful when they're 17, 18, 19, 20, to attract a man with money, they're being led on the dark path. Today in the news, a woman was being stalked by a man. And there's surveillance footage of her running for her life and hiding using a cell phone. But in the end days, the cell phone will be tracking you. I instructed you women to get rid of your cell phone when the day comes in which they're stalking in mass. And you will need to be in a position to find a godly man. But you and the godly man are in danger if you are in an ungodly region of the earth. However, there's going to be hell for the non-believers. However, for the believers, there will be salvation. I am not channeling the Bible or the Quran, but I'm seeking to bridge the gap between it all. But I'm not consciously tapping into any Jewish mystical traditions as of yet, but the Zodar has come to me. The Zodar. As well as other spiritual masters, Vishnu, Ahura Mazda, the Buddha, and Krishna, the martial artist. These spirits, including Jesus Christ and my ancestor, Mas bin Jabal, I do not fear. I welcome them to the table. That's where we at. I turn my consciousness away from that girl, but I'm psychic when I'm being stared at. And picking up on the fact she's annoyed that I'm not giving her energy or time. And the fact is, the proper place for that is a school. The proper place for that is with the mother's permission in, say, a mentorship position. If that's because a child that doesn't know that it's not supposed to look in the eyes of an older male. I just don't think they should. Not right now. See, parents should prep their kids for the future. Whether you want to call it end times, they see the dystopian movies. And I'm telling you, the Dajjal is going to demand your children. The Antichrist. Okay, we're going to be talking about the Essene soon. 2025 to 2075. It's a cycle. And so I want a child, but I'm being told by God, no, we are not to have children now. And we are to respect women that are not trying to attract. See, not all women that are beautiful are trying to look beautiful. Not all women that are beautiful know that the makeup, the hair extensions, all of that can attract legitimate bad boys. Their parents didn't tell them because their parents told them about Santa Claus. Their parents told them to do good in school, but didn't tell them that if you're spiritual and you're intelligent, the system may work against you. We live in a world where romance is forced to go down in porno and dating websites. And person to person is now not okay. I want to change things. So like I said to the people at the market, 2025, I've been seeing the time. Now we're seeing the code. 2025 or 225. And I bought my meat and left. There's a movie that I watched, and it's called Girl Interrupted, with a very beautiful woman by the name of Wynonna RIder, who I'm attracted to. And it's basically the female version of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's set in the 1970s. And in that mental ward hospital, for those that don't know, I was forced to go to one because I got depressed and got into a fight with the person who's helping me and threatened to kill myself when I wasn't suicidal. And so I'm not going to tell the full story. I'm going to go back and make videos public again that were privated. Some. We're going to do more lip syncing. It can happen to you. Watch the movie for the female version. If you're a young female and you're spiritual and you're not liking abuse, many women have been abused that were innocent in this society and raped in mental health facilities. It's called MK Ultra. And in the 1970s, a lot of women were put away because they couldn't go along with the system. And Wynonna RIder features a character who's basically raped, molested, harmed. And we could see how what I experienced in 2025 was a mere version of what her and Jack Nicholson experienced in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And all I did is drink. I wasn't even suicidal. They did not properly evaluate me. They forced me to take drugs. They threatened to put drugs in my ass, Abilify. I don't take drugs at all. At all. At all. I'm even going to quit vape. I'm quitting alcohol. I'm quitting coffee. I'm quitting masturbation for as long as possible. If I break down, it's going to be attempted to be, no, I'm going to need to investigate, make sure this doesn't drive a person insane, though. The key is spirituality. Okay? So you have to know why you don't drink. You have to know why you don't that. You have to know why you don't fantasize about that woman and put her image on a big portrait, big old poster, and do magic. There are women that teach magic on YouTube that say it's okay to think about someone and do this. They'll be in your bedroom in no time. No, that's not the way of God. That is the way of Shaitan. And so if Shaitan is trying to lead us in our hearts to break our contract with God, to not break our contract with the devil, moving forward, well, this can be a 3-minute video. Now I know the truth. There is a reason why some women were sent my way that had no love, that wanted to fornicate. What Eve Lorgan doesn't recognize when she targets men in her books is the role that women play. What Eve Lorgan doesn't realize is the man or woman may not have been archonic themselves, but the archons or demons came in to disrupt the sexuality. Like, not everybody is a conscious vampire, but people have attachments. And through sauna, and through prayer, and through repenting, and through deliverance, and through bathing, and through proper practices, and through fasting, you can minimize the demonic grasp over yourself. If you are a young woman now watching this, God bless you. Keep watching, because I will make content just for you. I have made content for men for many, many years. For those of you that judge, you understand this is karma. I'm creating positive karma by using the consciousness coming into me now and telling women, please stop. It's a phrase. It doesn't mean I'm calling you a prostitute. Please stop advertising what you're not selling. When you are married, or when you are underage and you are not trying to attract fornicators, don't wear certain shades of pink. I don't support now a left-wing feminist stance on sexuality. I don't support homosexuality. I don't support Portland. I no longer dream of Portland women. I understand that. We may think there's victims out there, and there are. We should protect these little girls. But you and I chose to come here to this planet for this test. We're going to be put into the fire, folks. I'm a medicine man. I'm not a terrorist. But I can look like one if I go around megaphoning giving people my name on YouTube channel. Then people go, bro, they think you're a threat. Run for your life. I can't, because I'm making peace here. And here. And here. And here. And down here. And I will be explicit. I told those parts of my body that are on fire, simmer down now. You be a good boy, you'll attract a good time. It's not that you're being punished. You have a purpose. It's that it's time for you to go on vacation, and we'll leave it at that. It's the higher consciousness, you see, telling the other form of consciousness, I am in control here. So pay attention to the signs. To the 144, to the 333, to the 777, to the 1111, to the 133. And then they showed the numbers existing on the license plate, particular numbers I'm not going to mention, of a guy that was stalking the woman. And again, there were several incidences at the same time. You know, incident A, incident B. Right as I write a blog about human trafficking. And in that blog, I call out Katy Perry and the whole thing about, you know, the Alien song. And so we need to get past this point where people are shocked that I know too much and that I'm trying to save individual people as well as the collective. Because I know from my sinning, forgive me, God, for I have sinned. I know from those websites that I looked at what their plan is. That's what it is. That's why I talk. this way. I know what they're conditioning men to think is normal, and it's not okay. And the longer I don't look at it, the angrier I get that I even did, and that we men covet secrets about that crap. We men and women should do better. And a day is going to come where we godly men and women are going to go to war, spiritually speaking, but physically when they come for us and our children on those evildoers, because this is the danger young people are in. This monster coming down from the sky, coming to rape and pillage with 12-foot tall demons. They're going to demand our children. This is what I see. And I fear for so many. But fear not, for the day in the sky is coming. And I know what I work for. I work for her respect. Her, my bride, in the sky. Waiting for me that will be as tall as me in spirit form, that will understand me. I'm waiting for the one that won't call me crazy. But in the meantime, I'll look for an earthling. But do I feel like an earthling? Do I feel like one of you? No. And so I watch the shows and videos to make sense of our world, to understand my isolation. I watch other videos to gain inspiration on overcoming addictions. I don't go to AA because I believe that we are powerful. It's some ginkgo. Getting back to supplementation, getting back to meditation, getting back to alkaline water, getting back to green superfood, getting back to grass-fed beef, getting away from fast food, breaking it down to one movie a day, getting rid of all love songs and turning off the local love song station that filled my head with so many. See, last but not least, we're ending at 33 minutes. Turn off the radio. Turn off the fornication music. Turn off the thoughts in our head that lead us to temptation. Slaughter your inner demon each and every day. Each and every day that you wake up, have the determination to be the strong one as a man or a woman. Don't, as a man or a woman, advertise what you're not selling. As a man or a woman, be modest. If you're going to take off your shirt and flex, you're going to attract certain people. If you're going to show certain beauty, you're going to attract certain people. Beauty is a gift. Intelligence is a gift. Brawn and power is a gift. But when it's misused, it's Satanism. But when it's done for the right reason, it's godly. May God be with you all on your mission in evolving beyond this matrix. See you again soon. For a reading from my books. Oh yeah, it's coming.